welcome again for today's session. I'm happy and glad to be having you during this hour to go through the last part of question number 6. Last time we were discussing about the African traditional heritage and where we emphasized more on the kinship and also the rites of passage. And every rite of passage, we explored the moral values which are inculcated. And our last rite of passage, which was death, I know it was one of the most, can we call it, painful, emotional experience, or the topic that arouses the emotion of the people. But Lisilo Budi, as they say, utendwa. So today we're doing the last part of question number 6. That's our part 3, which talks about the role of religious specialists in African communities. When you talk about a specialist, what do we mean? A specialist is somebody who has the knowledge about something. It is something which you have knowledge more on. That means you have experience, you have dealt with it, and you can be called upon to act on it when need arises. So, who are the religious specialists in traditional African communities? Number 1, we had the medicine people. Number 2, we had the mediums. Number 3, we had the diviners. Number 4, we have the priest. Number 5, rainmakers. Number 6, we have the prophets. Number 7, we have the seers. Number 8, blacksmiths. And also number 9, we have the elders. So as we have agreed, these specialists have knowledge on the areas of their specialization because there is something which they know that maybe will enable us to have confidence in them. That's why we call them the specialist in traditional African societies there. Then we call them there. A question may be asking there, how the religious specialists acquire their skills? How did this medium, the priest, the prophets, the seers, the mediums, how did these specialists acquire their skills? 1, through inheritance. You get that there's somebody in a family who was doing it, and at the end of the day, it is passed on from one generation to another or a person within that family. Then again, we have number 2, apprenticeship. So through apprenticeship, somebody can acquire those skills. Then again, number 3, through dreams and visions. Then number 4, being possessed by the spirits. You can be possessed by the spirit, and then from there you acquire those skills. Then again, receiving a call from God. When you receive a call from God, again, some people receive a call from God or ancestors. Then again, through observation. Through observation, somebody can have those skills. You watch what somebody is doing, and then from there, you end up doing the same thing. That is called observation. So then again, we go through now to each category of the specialist, starting from the medicine men. What are the functions of the medicine men? Again, function of the medicine men, herbalist, are hand in hand. They are the same because what the medicine men were doing is the same thing the herbalists were doing. Number 1, they identified the illness and their causes. So the work of the medicine people is to identify the diseases and also their causes. Then number 2, they identify the appropriate treatment. In the end, they found it. They identify the appropriate treatment. Then number 3, again, they avert the effect of the curses. If you have a curse, there is a way in which they control. To avert is to control the effect of that curse. Then they counteract the effect of witchcraft. wachai wakuwa wengi, there is a way in which they can counteract. Then they prepare charms for protection against witchcraft that you get people wearing around their waist, maybe on the neck there, like necklaces, etc. Those are the things which they prepare to protect maybe children or people from the people who have bad eyes. Then again, they give medicine to increase fertility in both people and animals. When you get somebody's not getting a kid, or animals which have a problem of siring, these are the people who gave this medicine. Then again, they drive away evil spirits. They drive away evil spirits. Those are the work of the medicine men there. Then again, they reveal mysteries to human beings or predict the future. There's some things which you don't know, but for them, they have the power of revealing those mysteries. These are occurrences which we are not aware of, but they give maybe about the impending danger coming there. They can give a signal and then they know how to control it there. Then again, they train herbalists or medicine men. They also have the role of training others to join them when they vacate from these specialist skills there. Then again, they do the carrying out of rituals in the community, cleansing rituals. We said to cleanse, it means somebody was declared unclean initially, comes back to the society. There is a way in which they welcome them back again. Then, what are the occasions when the services of the medicine men were required in traditional African societies? The occasions when the services of the medicine men were required in traditional African society. There, one, when there is sickness. That one, when there is sickness or illness, the services of the medicine man is required. Number two, during the rites of passage. And I said the rites of passage are remaining from birth until death. These people are recognized and they were given, they were called during that time. Then again, when a community, number three, when a community is struck by misfortunes, misfortunes do occur in the community, and the best people to help here were medicine men. Then again, another point, number four, before going for war. Before going to the war, the medicine people again were needed. These are the people like those doing Eastern government. During the Maji Rebellion, there is this medicine which they were using. Medicine men were involved. During the Mau Mau period, also the oath making, medicine men are the one who made such a kind of medicine to give the people that concoction to take so that they cannot reveal the secret. So before going to the war, they can prepare something for these warriors there. Then again, during religious functions, number six, they were needed. Then again, when a property is lost or stolen, in African societies, they were not keeping quiet. They had something they were doing where, in this case, they had a way of preparing the medicine and then they were able to identify the person who have stolen. Like now, you've seen so many cases where they use bees. Sometimes you are attacked by something. So is the power of the medicine man there. When again, another occasion, number seven, when there are mysterious occurrences. When mysterious occurrences happens in the community, these are the people who are called. Okay. Now we come to the factors that undermine the role of healers or medicine men in traditional African societies. What are the factors affecting the relying of medicine men and herbalists in traditional African society? What you mean in this case here? Today is not like former times where people used to rely on them. Things are different. You have some factors coming in, which makes the people not to rely on these medicine men or these healers. One is conventional medicine. Today, people are taking medicine which is processed, and the people no longer go to the forest to look for those kind of drugs. Number two, scientific diagnosis of illness. These days, if you are sick, they take the sample of the blood, or they take even your saliva to the laboratory. They check it so that you can know what you are suffering from. Even x-rays are used there. So you get the role of medicine man and herbalist. It's diminishing, it's no longer required. Then again, emergence of new religious faith that stresses on prayer and faith healing. Some people are fasting so that they can be healed. So, with the coming of foreign religions, people have shifted from seeking medicine men or herbalists to rely on the faith healing that happens in so many churches. Then, other than there is extinction of medicinal herbs. Today, surely you look at the forest, it's no longer there. It is diminishing, and the people don't have those medicine which were used in traditional African societies there. So with that extinction of the medicine herbs, people are no longer are relying on those medicine. Then again, influence of the Western culture. Most of the people today are using those drugs that other countries are using. So it's making every other person not to rely on those medicine people and herbalists. Then again, inaccessibility due to remote working environments. You may be working somewhere in town, then again, you are not able to access those drugs far away in the remote area. So it makes it so hard for the people to access those medicine. And those factors applies in most of the areas. So you can see those factors cuts across so many in many questions when they are asking about the factors affecting use of medicine, herbalist, diviners, and the rest there. So we no longer rely on those medicine today. Then again, we may be asking a question that what is the roles of the diviners? Diviners. You look at the roles of the diviners in traditional African societies there. Look at again the occasions when diviners were consulted in traditional African society. When do we go to look for the services before going for war? Number two, during marriage ceremonies, diviners will be there. When the property is lost, number three, it's another occasion when you need them there. When death occurs frequently, we need answers. Then again, the role of the diviners is needed there. When there is a disaster or a calamity, again, these people were needed. Then before initiation takes place, these diviners again were needed. When sickness occurs frequently, we need the diviners. Then again, during pregnancy and the naming, also diviners were involved. You can give a child a name which is not in correspondence with what ancestors want the spirit, then the child will suffer later. So the diviners are there to say that name is good or bad there. Then again, when there is serious disagreement on something, diviners will come in to solve that disagreement using their paraphernalias. So at the end of the day, they'll solve that conflict. Again, the last one, it's when one is barren. So those are the occasions when the services of the diviners were needed. Then again, we have the rainmakers. I know today rainmakers no longer exist, but they used to be there during the traditional African societies there. So what are the functions of the rainmakers? They perform rituals to cause rain. The fact they used to have rituals which enables the rain to come. That's a very good thing they are doing. Then again, they have the ability to stop destructive rain. Like now when the hailstones are coming down, these rainmakers have the power to stop that hailstone from falling down to destroy the properties or the plants in the farm, and they were doing so nice work there. Then again, they predict weather conditions by studying the skies and behavior of plants and animals. They know if the birds are migrating, if the animals are making some funny noise, if the plants are doing like this, they were able to identify the weather conditions during that time. Then they preside over religious functions. Then again, they advise the community on both religious and social issues. That's the work of the rainmakers. Then again, they give blessings to the members of the community. So those are the functions of the rainmakers. Then now we have other people called the priest. Not only to deal with the priest, we had the priest in traditional African societies there, just the same way we have today. But what the functions? What are the functions of the priests in traditional African society there? Number one, they perform religious duties. Number two, they offer sacrifices and offerings to preside over rituals and prayers. They offer sacrifices in short. Then number three, they take care of religious places like shrines. That they want to take care of it there. Then they were acting as judges, advisors in traditional African societies there. Then they pour libation, offer prayers. That's what they're doing. They're pouring libation uh, to thank or to ask for the petition from God. Then they interceded for human beings, interceding or acting as intermediaries between them and God. Then they were made to be in charge of royal graves. That the one who were in charge of the royal graves. Then they install kings and chiefs, the one who were called during that time. Yeah. Okay, let us look at the factors that have affected the traditional people's dependence on God, because we realize today many people have no dependence on God. One of the factors is the introduction of Western culture, because people have the tendency of adopting the foreign way of doing things and have forgotten they're depending on God the way it was in traditional African society. Then again, some people rely on witchcraft to solve their problems. That's number two. Some people rely on witchcraft to solve their problems. That's why they don't rely on God today. Then again, there is a need for power uh, or materialism without the fear of God. People are so greedy they can do anything as long as they get the materials. That's one of the reasons why they have shifted their dependence on God. Then again, there is the factor of relying on science and technology. Science again tends to solve many problems. Like now, unlike the traditional African societies where people could go to their rainmakers to solve their problems, then go to offer sacrifices to solve their problems. Today, many people tend to use the science and technology to solve their problems. Then again, another factor, number five, is money economy, where success depends on how much money one earns. That's what the success. It's not about the belief, but how much do you earn? It's what matters in this case there. Then again, there is the element number six of the abject poverty, where sometimes you have relied on God for so long and you don't get anything out of it. So, because of this, people have lost faith in God because you rely on God and you remain poor. You don't see the reason why you rely on God. Then again, negative peer pressure. It has influenced the members to rely on themselves other than God. So peer pressure is another reason. Then again, the pressure of modern living. The way people are living today, it makes them so busy and they've forgotten about God. Then again, modern education is another factor where people too much they think that education is giving a solution and they've ignored about God. Then again, you look at the vocations in traditional African societies where the services of the seers were needed, or occasions in TAC when seers were consulted. One, when sickness and death occurred frequently. Number two, when there is a disaster or a calamity. Number three, during marriage ceremonies, because they are to come to bless the couples. Then number four, during cleansing rituals, like during the burial sacrifices, the seers were needed. Then another point is before embarking on war and raiding expeditions, the seers must be there to show them if they are going to win or it's going to be a loss again. Then again, before initiation rites took place, then their services also were needed. Then again, during pregnancy cases, where childbirth was difficult, the seers were consulted in many cases here. Then again, you realize when there is serious disputes in the family or in the clan, the seers also were required. Then we know elders were also the most important people. They were specialists in different things in traditional African societies there. So it's good for us to look at the requirements that one had to fulfill to be made an elder. What are the requirements one had to fulfill to be made an elder? One, being initiated. That's number one, you must go through initiation. Number two, must be married. That's number two. You must be married so that you can become an elder. Then being of good conduct. That's another reason. You must have of good conduct. Then having the right age or a specified age, can be 40s, 50s there. So that one again qualifies one to become an elder. Then ability to provide for others or wealthy. If you are able to provide for others, then you stand a chance of becoming an elder. Then again, another point, you should be knowledgeable in matters of society, that is, or wisdom. If you have the knowledge in matters of the society or wisdom, again, you become an elder. Then again, having support from leaders. You must have the support from the leaders because it is these leaders who can also support you in matters of leadership. Then again, be of sound mind or good health. You are somebody to rely on. You have good health. You are around with the people for a long period of time. Then you must be a bona fide member of that community. Bona fide member. We can't bring somebody from outside to come and lead the people of a particular community. Then again, you must be ready to undergo through rituals to become an elder. Then the question is, what are the roles of elders in traditional African community? One, they supervised marriage negotiations. These are the people who participated in marriage negotiations. Elders, they'll come when they've asked you for 100 cows, they'll come in to say no, just reduce it to 70, then they'll be there. Then again, they supervised division of property. That's number two. Then number three, they pass on customs of the community to the next generation. Then number four, they made major decisions affecting the family. If something was to be done, these are the people who did that work. Then they settled disputes or conflict. That's another point. Then again, they defined punishment for offenders. If you have done something, it's the elders who sat together, then they can say which type of punishment you are getting. Then they taught the youth moral values. Then another point, they ensure law and order was maintained. Then another point, they fixed dates for rites of passage. You can't wake up in the morning that you want to go to initiation without consulting the elders, the one who fixed that one there. Then again, they offered sacrifices on behalf of the people. Yes, that's true. There are so many roles which they were playing in those days there. The question we're asking again here, maybe sometimes we want to know which are the factors that have undermined the role of elders in African communities today. Do we still have these elders? If they're diminishing, what are the factors that have undermined the status of elders in African community today? One, new government structure. Today, we have the president downward. So no one again who talks about the laws and again the government structure where administrative officials have taken over the roles of elders in law and the maintenance. So new government structure is factor number one. Number two, most of the judicial duties have been taken over by the law courts. So most of the judicial duties have been taken over by the law courts. Then again, education has brought new values where authority now it's no longer regarded as how old you are, but how better you have gone to school or qualification you have. Then again, migration to new areas again has made the roles of elders to be shifted. Then the influence from other religions like Christianity and Islam with their leadership structure, where you get that religious leaders are the one having some duties or delegated roles. Then urbanization is another factor. Then schooling, where children spend most of the time with teachers, depriving them the time to be with the elders. These days, children are with teachers in school. The elders have no authority to inculcate those moral values and also take the role of passing the information to the youth. Then again, permissiveness in society, where respect for the elders is eroding. Then again, economic factors, where the worth of a person is judged by the wealth or the property one owns. So those are the factors which have affected the role of elders today. Then we talk about describe the African understanding of the community, because community has uh, different characteristics. But how is that question said? Describe the African understanding of the community. Which are the answers that you need to give there? The members of the community include the unborn, the living, and the dead, also the ancestors. The members of the community include the unborn, the living dead, and the ancestors. Number two, the members speak one common language, because you get a community, people speaking one language, so that would say members of a community speak the same language. Number three, they are related by blood, marriage, or adoption. Every clan or a community, people are related in one way or another. Then again, number four, the community members occupy the same geographical area. Then number five, they carry out similar economic activities. Then number six, the community is made up of small units. Then again, each community has its own rules, taboos, beliefs, and customs. Then the last one, the members are expected to participate in the life of the community. Again, you look at the change in traditional concept of the community, of the changes which have taken place in regard to the community. One, the dead are not part of the community today. Then number two, it comprises of several tribes. Now the community have got so many tribes coming together. It's not one member. If you live in a particular community like in Nairobi, you have so many tribes coming together. Then three, members of the community no longer live in the same geographical area. No, people are living far away from their homes. Then political structure is controlled by modern system of government, each democracy. So that one again has changed. Economically, the community depends on employment and has led to social classes, unlike those days where it was a part of the community. Socially, informal education has been overtaken by formal system of education. So those are the elements of change that we see today. And then now, okay, now we look at the elements of change in traditional African understanding of the old age, because the way people look at the old age today is different. So, what are the elements of change in traditional African understanding? One, many old people live in special homes. You see, they live in special homes, not where they were taken care of by others in traditional African society, because we're saying the importance of children to take care of their parents when they grow old. But today, they live in special homes. Number two, some old people end up in streets as beggars. That's true. You wonder why, but that's where they are today. Things have changed drastically. Then number three, uh, young people ignore the contribution of the old people in their lives. They don't see them as valuable. They have ignored that they are something to contribute to the society. Then again, another point number four, people today prepare their old age in various ways. Like you can invest your money in pension schemes in circles that when you retire, you get your money. and like those days where people depended on the large tract of land, the animals they had, and so many things there. Then again, another point number 5 is that uh, there are organizations which organize funds for the destitute old. Kuna hizi vitu tunapatanga chama where you get people are old, malipo ya wazee. There is some organizations which have come in. So those are the ways through which the old age has changed from the traditional way of setup there. Then now we look at the issue of land. Land, in traditional African society, it was communally owned. Nobody had the mandate of owning the land alone. So many things were there, it's communal. But now we have the changes that have taken place in African understanding of land. Land is a crucial topic. It's a crucial thing to discuss in Kenya. So we have the way we view land today is not the way it was seen in traditional African society. So explain the changes that have taken place in Africa understanding of land. One, there are landless people today. That's true. So many people are living in the streets. So many people are landless. Unlike those days where land, you could access it the way you wanted them. Then again, number 2, land is individually owned today in shamba yangu. Unlike those days which was communal. Number 3, land can be bought anywhere and the people can settle anywhere. Those things of community things not there. You can buy land in Moyale, stay there. You can have land in Nairobi and stay there. So it can be bought anywhere and people can settle anywhere there. Then again, land is evidenced with a title deed or allotment letter for those things in towns. So to show the land belongs to you, title deed is given. Then again, number 5, some land is set aside for use like establishment of game park. Kuna shamba imetekwa kando for those reasons there. Then again, ancestral land can be sold at will, something we never experienced in traditional African societies. My God, things are changing so fast. Then again now, when you talk about land, we say it's a very delicate issue. The question we're asking, what are the ways in which the government of Kenya is minimizing the problems related to land? What is the government of Kenya doing to minimize the problems related to land? Number 1, issuing of title deed shows you own it. Number 2, settling landless people. That's true. It's a problem. They are settling landless people. The government of Kenya is doing that. Number 3, relocating people living in reserved areas. This area is reserved for the roads. You relocate them to other areas. This area is reserved for game park. You relocate them to other areas. Then again, number 4, encouraging dialogue between warring communities. Whenever a conflict arose because of land, the way we have seen it in Kenya, we encourage people to communicate. Then again, empowering, number 6, traditional elders to settle land disputes. They're the one who has the laws, they're the one who knows where the land from where to where. So they bring in those old people to settle those land disputes. Then again, allocating enough land for public utilities. Sikuje ifike shule imekuwa kubwa, tuna land ya kuexpand, we have to allocate enough land for that one there. Then number 7, encouraging inter-ethnic coexistence. You can't live alone, you have to live with other people there. Then again, the last point, ensuring legal land transfers amongst the buyer and the seller. It's legal. Sikuja ukagongwa. Land is a crucial chapter when you talk about it in Kenya. I think that's all about land. Then we come to what you call the property. What are the changes taking place in property ownership in traditional African communities? In those days, there's the way they were seeing property and there is the changes that have taken place today. Number one, among the changes taking place in property ownership in traditional African communities, number one, women and children can now own a property. Hiyo ni ukweli. Sasa hata mtoto mdogo, bibi, can own the property, unlike the way they were doing it in traditional African society there. Then number two, wealthy is no longer determined by the number of wives or children. Those days, wives and children were seen as a property. But today, the more you have, the more the problem. They're no longer seen as a property. So we cannot determine your property in terms of number of wives or children that you have. Then number three, introduction of money economy has reduced the value of land. These days you can have your money, keep it in the bank, you have your money, put it in the shares. So the value of land is no longer seen the way it was in back in those days there. Then again, the role of elders in sharing property has eroded. Who is now distributing the land today? Land surveyors have taken over from the elders who were doing that work. So it's a change in property ownership today. Then again, land is individually owned through the issuance of title deed. Ukiwa na title deed yako, shamba ni yako. Then again, people write will to show or decide who should inherit their property. Then number seven, property can be owned outside one's ancestral home. Enda nunua shamba Kakamega, enda nunua shamba Mombasa. You can own it anywhere. Property these days have changed. Then again, land can be sold or auctioned. In traditional, my friend, jaribu hiyo utakiona. So that is what we are seeing there. Then we have another thing we call the widows and orphans. How are they taken care of in traditional? It's a very good thing. But now you see today things are different. That's how you get to this question asking, identify the changes that have taken place in traditional African understanding of widows and orphans. What has changed in terms of the widows and the orphans? Number one, there are many cases of road accidents and diseases like HIV, AIDS. That's a change. So there are so many cases. Number two, most of the widows and orphans, they suffer because of the breakdown of kinship system. Kinship system is no longer there. It has broken down. So that when you realize there, no one takes care of those kids. Due to lack of care, many orphans has become street children. Then number four, inheritance of widow is discouraged due to the fear of HIV/AIDS. Then again, the care of widows and orphans have shifted to the government and other organizations. So ni serikali itenge pesa kando. And like those days, it's the family which was taking care of them. Then again, so many orphans today had people find it difficult to care for them. So people are finding it difficult to take care of them. Then again, so many orphans are mistreated and neglected. You go to the homes, you will cry. Then again, the government now gives bursary for the education of those orphans. And then the last point is many orphans today are a victim of child labor. So that is what is taking place there. But now the government is not keeping quiet. We have the ways in which the church in Kenya is assisting orphans in the society. What are the ways in which the church is assisting the orphans in the society? The church is doing something so good. Then one, the church preaches or teaches about the need to take care of orphans. Kanisa inafundisha they need to take care of the orphans. Number two, sometimes the church organizes for adoption of orphans. Kanisa ina organize somebody to come and adopt those children. Number three, some churches have built homes or what you call rehabilitation centers to take care of these orphans. Then number four, the church prays for those who are orphaned in the community. Wanaombewa sana. Then again, the church provides basic needs, financial assistance for these orphans. Then again, the church offers
vocational training to equip these orphans with some skills. After getting the skills, they can have something to do and depend on themselves. Again, the church is offering employment opportunities to promote self-reliance, ujitegemee wewe mwenyewe. Sometimes they pay school fees. Many times we have seen the church in Kenya paying the school fees, not once, not twice, many times. Then again, they provide guidance and counseling services for these children. Then again, the church is advocating for the laws, for the rights of these orphans. They're championing, they're coming up with the laws for these children. So that's what the church is doing to make sure that the orphans in Kenya are assisted today. Then again, we come to the dress code in traditional African societies, but we're interested in the what are the factors that determine the mode of dressing in traditional African society. What is made you to dress the way you're dressing in traditional African society? The regional climate. You can't be wearing heavy clothes when it's too hot. No, you wear clothes depending on the region of the climate where you are. Then number two, the age. There is a way the young children wear clothes where the old cannot wear that. The age also determines the type of clothes that you are wearing or dress. Then number three, the sex or gender. You can't wear clothes which are meant for women or women wearing clothes made for men. Then again, social status. If you are an elder, there's some regalia which you put on. So your social status also dictates the kind of dress that you can wear. Then occupation, the work you're doing. So you can't be wearing heavy ukienda kulima shambani. No. The occupation you're doing also determines or dictates the kind of dress you are wearing. Then again, the occasion. You know, if you go to celebrate something there, there is the way people used to wear clothes there, to go to dance and do so many things there. Then again, marital status also determines there. So those are the factors that determine the mode of dressing in traditional African society there. Then we come to the bride wealth, but we are concerned with the changes that have taken place in African traditional concept of bride wealth. There are things which are different unlike those days. So which are those factors? Number one is, so the question will be like, what are the changes that have taken place in the traditional African concept of the bride wealth? Number one, bride wealth has been individualized. It is no longer shared. Kitambo watu wangeshare, sahi ni ujikanyagie mwenyewe, utafute bride, ulipie the bride to your married couple. Number two, it has been commercialized. It's no longer taken as a form of appreciation. Mtu amesema msichana wangu ni 2 million and then wamestick to uko there. That is another thing that we see there. Then number three, it's no longer fixed but subject to inflation and bargaining. Kitu tunasema kwamba ni 100, sasa tuna bargain. Inflation ikipanda juu na sisi tunapanda juu. So that's what we are seeing, the changes in bride wealth in today. Then again, it's paid in cash, not in form of animals, the way it was done in traditional African society there. Again, another change there is that it is sometimes fixed according to status, education, and the position of the girl in the society. If somebody is employed, bride wealth tends to shoot. If well educated, the same thing there. So that's another change that we are seeing today. Then today, number 6, girls are viewed as investment sold. Baba akiwa na msichana anamwangalia akitembea, naona hizi ni ng'ombe zangu, these are my cows. It's not the way it was seen in traditional African society, but today it's a form of investment. Then again, another change is that bride wealth has dehumanized the girl, because it's no longer seen as a human being, but a property to be sold to the highest bidder. Then again, it has become a manifestation of greed and exploitation. Mtu anakupigia hesabu nakwambia, msichana wangu nilifundisha nipatie 10 million, kama unayo 10 million uende. That's greed, it's wrong. So that is what to talk about bride wealth as it has changed in the modern society today. So I think those are the things that we see happening today in the changes that we have anticipated. I think I've taken you through question number 6, part 1, part 2, and part 3. And I hope, it's my sincere belief, that you have benefited from this discussion. And if you take it serious, question number 6, African traditional religious heritage, it's a walkover. No longer say, I've never heard of those things. Don't say you have never heard of God, you have never heard of ancestors, the spirits. Don't. If you talk about the rites of passage, kinship, those are the things which you need to get. If we talk about in every rite of passage, we talk about those morals inculcated. My good students, don't forget that some of the rites of passage, they do share those moral values. Again, there is this question which is asking about during death, the rituals which are observed. Many candidates tend to write the importance and ignore the part of the explanation. That what are some of the rituals which are observed during death in traditional African society? I explained and said, like now, if somebody has died, there is wailing or crying. It signifies that death has caused sorrow or announcing the occurrence of death. If you talk about number 2, ritual number 2, breaking of pots in some homes is to show the disorder the death has caused. If we talk about lighting the fire near the grave, is to chase away the evil spirits. If we wash oil the body, is to send the spirit clean to the spirit world. Why do we do the prayers? Prayers are done so that we can ask the ancestral spirits to receive well the death. Then again, we bury the dead with their properties. The reason is to show there is life after death. I think, students, let us be honest and straight to the point. We can't be asking a question, the rituals, and then you say they were peace ancestors. What is that one there? Pouring libation. What is the meaning of that one there? Burying somebody in ancestral land. What is the meaning? Is to show somebody still belongs to that community. I think with that one, we cannot go wrong. I think I've done my best. I've explained those rites of passage, the rituals in it, from that naming, the birth, then to death, what caused death in traditional African societies there. That one has been well taken care of. Then we have talked about now specialists, medicine men, rainmakers, the seers, the mediums, their roles, the reasons why they have diminished. Talk about the elders. Where are they no longer recognized today? That when you have dealt with it conclusively. And it's my hope and trust that you have benefited from it. Don't deny the video the likes. If there is something we have not discussed, that's why we have a comment section where you can highlight what you want, and I'm there to answer those questions. Why are you not subscribing? That's the reason I'm asking. Why you not? Why do have so many views but there's no subscribers? You subscribe and then you like the video so that we can continue to the next. As we move on to paper 2 now, because we have done question number 1, number 2, number 3, and number 6. Oh, I'll take you through question number 4 and 5. I'll take you through Amos and then Jeremiah and Nehemiah. So let us meet next in the video which I'll be dropping soon. All the best. And don't forget, the book that can give you an A is Give Me My A CRE. That book, it's a surety of scoring a clean A. It has everything that I've explained during my videos. My number is 0724 78 1882. Make an order. Have that book with you. You won't regret. Have a nice time until we meet for the next dropping of another video.